Hey guys, Mr. Orthopedia here with another episode of Walk Me Through. We're gonna start the walkthrough for LittleBIGPlanet 3 for the PlayStation 3. So, here we go. It's really late at night. That remains to be seen. You see, what happens is, on my MacBook Pro, the USB ports, they're having trouble keeping things connected, and it kept on being disconnected and such. I guess I could talk about this while we're staring at a black screen for a short while. Anyway, you see, what happens is... Oh, there we go. Okay, so what happened is... just touch the wiring that goes to my capture card, and it disconnects for a little bit and tries to reconnect. And that's pretty much what happened. Oh boy. It really sucks. What's more, the game itself locked up. Maybe it's a glitch. I mean, it was recently updated. I think this update did more harm than good. I mean, the interface has been changed quite a bit, so I'm not recognizing it anymore. So... Actually, I'll do that later. I'll do that later off screen when I get to designing levels. But for now, I'm going to focus on the main storyline. That is, if all those glitches don't occur first. Actually, I'll do that later. Yeah, I'll do that later. Right now, I just want to get to the game. Let's make a couple of adjustments using the left and right. Oh, okay. All right. A little more. That's good. That's good, I think. Yeah. Yeah, how big is your TV? I'm going to adjust the brightness a little bit. You know what? I should have just left it as is. Yeah, hold on a minute. Well, okay, yeah, that'll do. That'll do. I was gonna Twitch stream it, but it's really late. I could stream BioShock. Let's see. Well, I'll do it on August the 16th. It's August the 15th, which is the time of the
gaze upon
recording.
something and see the wonder in it. Two can gaze together and share that wonder. We are forever emitting sparks of imagination. So, let's spark together. In every mind is a piece of code that operates our creative functions. It forms a conduit called the cerebrum-umbilical cord that extends to the farthest reaches of imagination. So let's build. Together we can push back the boundaries until they are a mere speck on the stellar horizon. Let's fly. Let's put our minds together and create. Everyone on this orb of dreamers contributes ideas. They ascend the cerebrum-umbilical cord to congregate in the Imagisphere, the natural home of our creative wanderings. So join us For you have always been and always will be most welcome in Little Big Planet.
Bulbs. Well,
gasp in utter amazement at your pod, your home base of adventure, your window into the wonder plane, your exploratorium for the vastness that is the Imagisphere. We weren't kidding when we said your, so feel free to pull out your poppet and slap a few stickers and decorations around. Make yourself at home, because you are home. Once you're done, why not invite some friends over? Have a party. The neighbors never complain, so go bananas. And when you want to leave, well, just waddle up to your pod computer and press the menu button. Marvelous adventures are just a step outside your door.
do that later. Actually, see if I can fix the sound. Okay, let's just walk up to the computer.
Well, how marvelous! You've found your way to the pod computer. The entire Imagisphere is now but a flick of the left stick and a tap of the action button away. Why not stretch your legs by picking the play option?
Okay, you'll notice that the menu is, has been modified somewhat thanks to this recent update. It's to be expected. So we have play, create, community, all about me, and store. But right now we're going to focus on play. Yeah, we're going to focus on the storyline.
Ah, Bunkum. Another shining beacon of wonder-planetary wonderment. And you can visit Bunkum anytime you like simply by selecting a badge using the left stick and pressing the action button. It's almost too simple.
Let's move on. Actually, I want to play on my own. I'm not really into the whole online gaming bit unless I'm prompted to by said game. Games like Garden Warfare. Yeah, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. That's a game that you have to be online. Part 2 is for next-gen consoles, which I don't currently have with me. You see, I'm at my cousin's place, so I won't be home for the next 3 weeks.
When you visit Little Big Planet, you become your true and pure self. A cuddly, excitable adventurer called a
Whoa.
And this is you. What a cracker! Use the left stick to move your sack person. A little tippy-tappy for a shuffle and a somewhat more substantial push for a bound.
One thing to note here is that LittleBIGPlanet 3 was created by Sumo Digital. Well, co-developed by Sumo Digital, as opposed to MM. Sumo Digital has had a dodgy past, so there are glitches on top of glitches, most of which have been ironed out some, but there may be a few that still remain. I mean, the game was rushed when it was released 2 years ago. Well, almost 2 years ago. This coming, I think it was September or October when LittleBIGPlanet 3 was released. Now, there are more glitches in the PS4 version than there are on the PS3 version, but there were a couple of game-breaking glitches there as well on both versions. So, but enough about that. Let's talk about Sumo Digital. Sumo Digital has been known for co-developing Sega games for multi-platforms. Games like Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing, Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing Transformed. Yeah, that's Sumo Digital. Instead of MM, I think it stands for I think it stands for minute molecules. Something. I'll have to look that up, and you may see some info pop up on screen when I edit this video. So, let's move on, shall we? So, like the commentator says, use the left stick to move your sack person left and right.
Take a run and jump, why don't you? You do it by pressing the action button. A quick tap for hippity-hop, and a long press for a lippity-leap. Marvellous.
Yeah, just basically press X to jump. Just tap it slightly, hold it some to jump even higher.
Transporting oneself from the earthly plateau to the realm of LittleBIGPlanet is akin to being born again. You emerge here a bundle of naked, woolly innocence. The operative word being naked. Put some clothes on that say, "I mean business, Buster." Get some gadabout trousers or an adventurer's hat, for example. To do so, bring up your poppet with the menu button and select the Customize Character option. From there, you can peruse its contents with the left stick and don your chosen attire with the Action button. Once you are suitably suited and booted, having raided your boutique, a press of the back button shows off your new togs to your peers. If you live by the sea, that is.
Moving on. Well, let's go back this way and get dressed.
Transporting oneself from the earthly plateau to the realm of LittleBIGPlanet is akin to being born again. You emerge here a bundle of naked, woolly innocence. The operative word being naked. Put some clothes on that say, "I mean business, Buster." Get some gadabout trousers or an adventurer's hat, for example. To do so, bring up your poppet with the menu button and select the Customize Character option.
I'm gender non-conforming, so don't
peruse
judge.
Its contents with the left stick and don your chosen attire with the Action.
I'm gonna have to make a separate video on
suitably suited and booted, having raided your boutique.
gender-neutral characters in video games. I've already made one a while back,
if you live by the sea, that is.
I'll have to make an updated version of that. But anyway, let's give this fool some. Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah, let's take off this cape. That person can actually hold Riding Hood shoes. Yeah, that'll do. Like I said, gender non-conforming, so don't judge. That's one thing to note about sack person. This sack thing is gender neutral. So, one thing I have to say about that is clothing doesn't really have a gender. Doesn't matter in the slightest.
Have you noticed that sack personages, as they gad about the Imagisphere, all wear a poker face because they're concentrating on the task in hand? Well, it doesn't have to be like that all the time, you know. You can change your expressions using the directional buttons. It's easy. Press up to show us your winning smile. Down brings out a frown. Right brings out your cross face, whilst left makes you look scared. You can nod and shake your head by waving your controller around, and even switch to control of your hips by clicking the left stick. Get a wiggle on, why don't you? As if that wasn't enough, try pressing the limb buttons and using the left stick and right stick. Look, you're waving. Yes, very good. I'm waving back. Really, I am. Honest. It's embarrassing now. Stop it.
Moving on. Special thanks to MM, which is the original co-developers.
Now, I know you're eager to get stuck into all this, but please remember the ethos of the Imagisphere. Create and share, and above all, have fun. And you know, there's room for more than one you in the world.
Yes. Thanks for that, old man. Oh, what luck. There's my little chum-to-be, ready to come and help me sort out Bunko. Just a simple press of this button, and our adventure will begin. No. So, the one on the left. No, but if I'm facing it, then that would be... That's the one.
Holy shit. Whoa. You may also notice, just like Sonic 06, these load screens are pretty much constantly appearing. Ironing out the creases. Yeah. All these pearls of wisdoms, and it's always very common in most loading screens. Oh, that never gets old.
Crumbs! It worked! You're here! Sorry for the rough ride, old chap. My name's Newton. Welcome to Bunkum Chummy Chum Chum, where the sky is strewn with circling clouds of imagination. all ceaselessly pumped into Bunkum's atmosphere by the pounding creative heart at its core, a magnificent moon of wonder. But I'm afraid Bunkum's destiny lies in our hands. Let me explain. Long ago, before the Negativitron nearly laid waste a craft world, 3 gluttonous gargoyles gorged on Bunkum's bountiful creativity. Inspiration dried up. We teetered on the brink of the abyss. And then 3 heroes came. With their speed, with their power, with their grace. They finally managed to capture the Titans.
Yeah, in a tin can of ice cream.
Restored to the creative paradise you see around you, the heroes retired to the
that's whipped
pages
cream.
of myth. A myth that also foretells of the return of the Titans. Tonight, just before bedtime, all of Bunkum's nightmares become real. And that's where we come in.
Yeah.
Me, my noble assistant. Bunkum's very future depends on we 2 brave heroes.
Yeah, whatever. Changing the light bulbs. That reminds me. I kind of wish I had the PS3 version of Saints Row 2. Yeah. In Saints Row 2, you actually... There's this one scene where these guys are smoking light bulbs.
Let's get down off this mountain. I've got a prezi for you.
Whoa. In this game, it's usually about the prize bubbles.
Mountain air. It's just so airy.
Whatevs.
And down on the left stick to move in and out of the screen.
Oh, one thing to note. In LittleBIGPlanet 3, you're not just limited to 3 layers anymore. You have a maximum of 16 layers in create mode.
Hold down on the left stick and press the action button to jump down a step.
Oh, another thing. You can actually hear the characters talk.
A step, you'll automatically shift backwards onto it.
Now, like I was saying, you actually can hear the characters talk instead of having to read their text bubbles, like in the first 2 games. As well as the PlayStation, the PSP version, which I used to have when I had my PSP. Oh, shit.
Did I ever tell you about the time I got stuck in a hat? I did? Well, it's a true story and still relevant today, as the danger of getting stuck in LittleBIGPlanet is as real as it ever was. If you find yourself in an impassable crevice or an insurmountable rut, your poppet holds the key to your salvation. Open it with your menu button and highlight the retry option using your left stick. Then simply hold the action button until your little stitched chum pops himself senseless. Don't worry, he'll be back in a jiffy, spat out of that last checkpoint you ran past, good as new. Did I ever tell you about the time I got stuck in a hat? I did? Well, it's a true story and still relevant today, as the danger of getting stuck in LittleBIGPlanet is as real as it ever was.
You may have noticed that I actually lost a life when I tried the retry option. You see, what happens is... Yeah, you do lose a life, so I wind up losing the no lives lost bonus when I clear the stage.
Layer launchers spring you from front to back and back to front. Give it a shot.
What you want to do is collect all these prize bubbles.
Bounce in and out like a bouncing in and out thing. Excellent work. Your bounding knows no bounds. Use the action button to trigger blue layer launchers.
That's another thing. Layer launchers are pretty new in LittleBIGPlanet 3. And like I said before, you're not limited to 3 layers anymore.
Use the grab button to climb along a climbable surface.
And that's another thing. Hold the R1 button.
You could still jump while you're climbing. Just press the action button.
Yeah, so, you now have the ability to climb. That's another thing that turned me on to this game. Ah, shit. Whoa. Damn, oh. Okay, thought there was a bottomless pit there. It's all about the prize bubbles, isn't it? Now I'm gonna focus on the main storyline and the Poppet Academy puzzles.
You could do it.
Now, Poppet Academy actually combines play mode and create mode. But we'll have a look at that much later on.
Good work. Let's go.
Now what I'm going to try to do is get those 2 prize bubbles up there. Shit. Nah, got him. Let's move on. Mine.
Use the grab button to take hold of spongy bits and the left stick to drag them about. Tap the action button while dragging or pushing to give yourself a little oomph.
First of all, in order to get those prize bubbles over there, let's pull this block over here. Sponge block over here. Whoa, shit. There's actually one on wheels. So what we gotta do is pull these 2 blocks over here underneath this climbable object here. To pull it a lot faster, keep tapping the X button. Mine. These prize bubbles have lots of objects for creative mode, which I might not be exploring in this playthrough. That I'll be doing off screen.
Oh, yes.
Damn, I missed that one.
We are amazing.
I'll worry about that later. I'll come back for it later.
Grab that old dangly thing and use the left stick to swing across. Jolly useful, eh?
Ah. Damn it, I missed it. Ah, fuck. Like I said, I'll have to come back for those later. Ah! Well. Yeah, I'll have to come back for those prize bubbles later. Damn. Yeah. Some of those prize bubbles aren't reachable at this time, so... Whoa! Whoa! It's all about the prize bubbles, isn't it? I'll have to come back for some of them later on. Ooh, got them both.
Now, we must retire to my airship to prepare for your, our death-defying mission.
And we just completed a level. You won't see any of those scoreboards unless you play the Pop-It mode. Now let me...